Well, we should be live right now. How's it going, boys? How's it going? How's it going? So this is going to be a very interesting type of stream, okay? So we're going to be talking about Plan9, downloading and installing Plan9 front on a computer, particularly this computer right here. This hallway matebook, I think. I don't know. I think that's what it is. But we're going to install it on this thing. And we're also going to actually like use it, test it, play with it. And just in general, oh shit. I have to remember I ran these cords right here and I'm definitely going to forget they're here. And I can totally, if I just forget and hit this just hard enough, I will sling a plant, light, and webcam down on me, and that will be not a fun time. But how you guys doing? How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Is the audio good? I mean, I know the video is not going to be amazing. It's a webcam. And this is just going to be an interesting stream, okay? If you want to learn a little bit about Plan9, this will be the live stream for you, because we're going to go to their website, talk about it, going to download it. Perfect. Dylan, Phoenix Python, how you guys doing? Good to hear from you guys. Hopefully I'm not annoying people with the hold on, I need a drink. Good lord, give me one sec. Perfect. Hopefully I'm not annoying everybody by doing the add everyone on the Discord. Hopefully that's not a thing. Hopefully you guys aren't annoyed by that. I hope so. First we're gonna go here. Hopefully you guys don't find that annoying. Hopefully you don't. I try not to do it a ton on the Discord server. I try and just do it, you know, to let you guys know, like, hey, something neat's going on. Perfect, good. Yeah, I tried to get a good camera angle. I tried to get something that'll be interesting. The only thing that'll be weird is I'll have to put the laptop more over here and have it up. You still won't be able to see the screen, which is sort of a problem, but really, in all honesty, we're going to go through and after a little bit, when it comes to the point where I'm actually like installing Plan9 and everything, I plan to bring the webcam in a bit, and so we'll get some more close-ups on the screen where you can see what's going on. But that will be a little awkward because I'll have to hold it. The way in which we have to do this setup is very weird because I tried piping the screen or the output of the laptop through HDMI into a cam link and playing it as a source through OBS. The Dell G5 would output a video through like the BIOS and everything, which was good because that meant that when it got into Plan9, when I booted off the USB drive, I actually got video throughout it. This laptop does not do that, and the other laptop doesn't actually boot into Plan9. Like, as soon as the kernel's supposed to load, it just hangs. So yeah, that's a big problem. But yeah, we'll get through it. So just in case you're wondering, what is Plan9? You're like, I've heard a lot about it, but I know nothing about it. By the way, I should go ahead, before we jump into that, I guess I should go ahead and address this here. So the reason I am doing this live stream and everything on Plan9 is because if you don't know or don't watch the Linux Cast, Matt and I do that podcast, and the last one we did was live, and during the segment when we were taking questions, the question was posed, when will I do a week with Plan9? And I jokingly said that, you know, if any one person gave me $50 a month, then I would do it. And within minutes, Joshua had donated $50 through Patreon. So yeah, here we are. We're gonna do a week with Plan9, and hopefully Joshua enjoys what he paid for. So in all reality, I have not. The reason there hasn't been a video for the past 2 days is the only way I've been communicating with people through Discord is on my phone, and I have been, in all reality, only using Plan9. I did install Arch on the laptop, but I didn't get any work there done. I knew eventually I'm going to want to use my Dell G5 for something, so quickly installed Arch on it while I was doing stuff on Plan9 on this Huawei MateBook. So there's actually Plan9 front installed on this Huawei MateBook right now. We're gonna flash it to a USB drive with DD here on the computer, and we're gonna boot from the USB drive, reinstall it to the hard drive, and I'm gonna walk you guys through everything. If I'm not showing you the screen, I'm gonna be reading off everything that I see. But Plan9 is very interesting. I guess I should go ahead and talk about the issues that I've ran into so far. Yes, it is going to be great. But the reason I haven't been posting videos is because I've just been using Plan9 and in my phone. And if you know anything about Plan9, it's not really a modern system whatsoever. Like, yes, you can use the internet, but hardware support is, oh god, how do I put this? Non-existent. And because I truly, in all honesty, when someone tells me to use Plan9 for a week, like, I mean, we all know what they mean. They don't mean use it in a VM off and on for a week. They mean just use Plan9 on your machine, and like that's what you live in for a week. And so inside of Plan9, let's go ahead and let's talk about Plan9 and what it is right now. So Plan9 is from Bell Labs. It's it's a distributed operating system originating in the computing CSRC. It originated out of Bell Labs, okay? And since 2000, Plan9 is a free and open source operating system. The final release was in early 2015, and it's a very interesting system. So under Plan9, Unix is everything is a file metaphor is extended. So it's very serious here. Everything is a file. You can essentially type out almost anything and it's a file. Via pervasive network-centric file system and the cursor address terminal-based I/O. We're not going to go through here and read all this because I'm sure you guys can read, but Bell Labs invented Plan9 for themselves. It's a very interesting research operating system. It is not Linux at all. It's not Unix. It's something completely different. Even Plan9 Front, which all Plan9 Front is, and we will get to Plan9 Front in just a second, but even Plan9 Front is not anywhere near the size of the Linux kernel. The kernel for Plan9 Front, which all Plan9 Front is Plan9 with added hardware support. The kernel for it is still, I mean, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I'm damn close. It's less than 350,000 lines of code, and oh, I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that. Thankfully, I didn't take anything down. I just knocked the light down. Are you going to stay up? Perhaps? Yes. Okay. Okay, so don't hit the cord again. That's what I learned from that. Hopefully I can just get it to stay over there. That would be better, but no. Okay, well, so yeah, Plan9 front is just added hardware support, 350,000 lines of code in the kernel compared to like 4 something million. I don't even know what the Linux kernel's at now. But yeah, it's much, much smaller, even with the added hardware support. Now, that being said, Plan9 front is not full hardware support. Okay, so just so you believe me here, okay, we have, hold on, I think the webcam got turned around, I'm not sure. Either way. So this laptop here, it will boot Plan9 front. The Wi-Fi chip in it does not work, and it doesn't have a lot of, well, it doesn't have a lot of ports on it. So there's only one USB-C, and that's used for charging. And so what that means is I cannot actually charge it and use, because the only Ethernet adapter that I have that takes USB is for a USB-C to Ethernet adapter, which means I can't charge the dang thing while using Plan9, which is not good. So yeah, that being said, using it without internet is not the most difficult thing in the world. But the thing about Plan9 that you do need to understand is going to use the mouse heavily, very, very heavily. So just keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and let's pop back over here. So here we are on Plan9 fronts, or 9 fronts website. And this is the weirdest website. I have, like, we have to talk about this website for a minute, because so if you want to use Plan9 on modern hardware, you're going to have to use Plan9 or 9 front, whatever. And this is like the most meme-tastic sort of website ever. You have powered by Plan9 at the bottom down here, which you can't see this right now. Let me see if there's a way that I can get this to resize. Will you listen to me? Yes, it will. Perfect. Okay. So down here at the bottom of the website, you have just wow. Okay, you have powered by Plan9, 100% Mothra compatible. This thing, which I'm not even going to click on it because I don't want to know what it is. You have a swastika with a no sign over it, and then a link to blacklivesmatter.com, which that's just weird. And then when you like look around on their website, you'll see like a link called propaganda, and when you just go here, you have a manifesto. 9 front is a fork of Plan9, is started to remedy a perceived lack of development resources inside Bell Labs, and has accumulated various fixes and improvements. And then you just go through here, and then you have like these odd photos, and you just keep going through. You're like, what is going on here? And if you're, I mean, like, what? And huh? And what? And I mean, you can just keep going through here, and if you're asking questions, good, because you should be, because none of this makes any sense. And it goes for a long time. Believe you me. Um, so, okay, that's just odd, but let's go back up here and let's just read their code of conduct for a second. Um, why is this in like some other language? What? What is going on? Huh? Oh, here we go. I don't know what that was about. Not to me. Uh, oh, no. You're not too late, brother. Not at all. We haven't even started downloading or installing anything yet. We're just laughing at the ridiculousness of this Plan9 for our 9front website. So their code of conduct. So this is legit their code of conduct. When possible, refer all matters to committees for further study and consideration. Attempt to make the committees as large as possible, never less than 5. Bring up irrelevant issues as frequently as possible. Misunderstand orders. Ask endless questions to engage in long correspondence about such orders. Quibble over them when you can. Haggle over precise wordings of communications, minutes, and resolutions. Be unreasonable and urge your fellow conferees to be reasonable and avoid haste, which might result in embarrassments or difficulties later on. Don't order new working materials until your current stocks have been virtually exhausted, so that the slightest delay in filling your order will mean a shutdown. To lower morale and with it production, be pleasant to inefficient workers, give undeserved promotions, discriminate against efficient workers, complain unjustly about their work, fill out forms illegibly so that when they have so that they will have to be done over, make mistakes or omit requested information in forms, spread disturbing rumors that sound like inside dope. This is their code of conduct. Like that this is just it's great. I love it. It's their entire website is just a meme, and then I can't remember, but somewhere inside of here, I can't remember where it is, but somewhere inside of here, I think if you load the code of conduct a few more times, yeah, because now this is completely different. Um, so yeah, if you load it up, like someone got literally, I think it was Dylan. Dylan loaded up the code of conduct and got the Star Trek. Um, oh good lord, the Star Trek Prime Directive was the code of conduct. Like this entire website is just it's too much of a meme. But if you want to download it, we'll go over to their releases page. And so we can download it from here. The only way they provide it is through, well, not the only way, but you know, the first thing that you'll see is links to get it as a torrent. And then you go down and select for mirrors. And again, from here, it's pretty much you can either get it from just the straight thing or the torrent. And we'll just go ahead and click on it. I don't know what the heck that was, but save that file and we'll download it. And I mean, you could definitely do a deep dive on this website because there's a lot of stuff on it. They have some MP3 files which are just weird as all get out. Yes, I know. Lewis needs to be here. Lewis might be asleep, I think. Um, 'Cause I'm pretty sure he was messaging me earlier this morning to talk before I was up. But yeah, we're not going to listen to this because I listened to one and it like almost blew my eardrums out, and I'm not going to subject you guys to that. Uh, I know, man, I definitely should ask for more money. Yeah, Plan9 it's very interesting. And one thing you'll notice about this website is the weird sort of cursor that's going on. Like if I go outside, you'll see my cursor's different, and then inside it's much fatter. This is the actual cursor that you can expect to see in Plan9. It's very fat, and um, Plan9 is very much cursor driven. It's very interesting. Um, oh, good morning, Gouda. Gouda? What the heck? Gupta. Good lord. Good lord. Can't speak. Can't speak. Yeah, plumbing. It's it it really is very interesting. It's cool how it's supposed to work. Like you're the way that you're supposed to use Plan9 is you're supposed to have multiple different terminals, like regular old computers that you use to interact with Plan9, and then you're supposed to have a dedicated CPU server with a powerful CPU that you do all of your processing, like building, compiling, all of your programs, stuff like that. And then you have an authentication server that does all the authenticating for all the terminals and CPU servers, and the other essential server, which is a file server. Um, and you're supposed to have that. That's like, your sort of NAS machine. And so you're supposed to have this like mini Plan9 local network that just, you know, enhances the experience. Um, and it's much more, it scales better when you have family members or get new devices, their terminals you interact with. Like it's really it's really good. It's very interesting. Yes, I really did do a deep dive into Plan9. It's very, very interesting. It's really nice to use. The thing about it is, with it being a research distribution, you can't really make the argument that it doesn't have a tool for recording the screen. It doesn't have a tool for a nice fancy music player or anything like that. Like it's not meant to. It's meant for you to develop your software in there. If you need a tool for something, it's like the perfect environment for you to build the tools that you need. Because also when you start doing a deep dive into like the actual kernel and everything, it's very interesting because it's practically all C. And like, I mean, if you've dived into DWM and stuff, then you're at least somewhat familiar with C. Um, and then I think it's like 1%, like one tiny percent. It might even be less, but like 1% of it is assembly. Now I don't know jack shit about assembly and will probably never learn. But I mean, I can fumble my way around and see, and so it's very interesting to have an entire system to research and build stuff in, and yeah, it's really neat. Um, yeah, it's also one of those things where I'm pretty sure all, if not most of the developers that work on Nine Front and other Plan9 or even Plan9 itself use actual ThinkPads. So if you've ever wanted to go get a ThinkPad and you were just going to put Linux on it, or you just, I don't know, you were looking for something interesting and new to try out on a ThinkPad, you're probably going to have a freaking great time trying it out, trying Plan9 out on those, because that's what the actual developers use. Um, no, there's nothing GNU, nothing Unix. I mean, it's very much Unix inspired. But no, like you will still see tools that you're familiar with, like LS is still going to work. Um, but it's just sort of like OpenBSD compared to Linux. Like, yeah, you've still got the same tools, but they work differently. Like, um, like grep versus grep on Linux, two totally different. Like, it's you can't. You're not just gonna have the same experience. Um, hey, how's it going, Krishna? Hopefully, I didn't butcher that username. I'm really, really bad about doing that. But, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Um, it's a Unix-based operating system along with BSDs and Solar. Yeah, it's Unix inspired. It's not. It's there. It does do a lot of things different than Unix. Because if you actually look into its creation, the reason it was made was because of perceived flaws in Unix itself. And I don't know, it's very much Unix inspired, but it is different. But I mean, it's the same thing with BSDs. You know, BSDs are Unix based, but very much their own thing. So yeah, yes, you're right. Um, is there at least a Vim over there? As far as I know, it has been ported over, but they do have their own sort of program. Um, it's called Acme and or Acme. How I don't know however you're supposed to say it, but it's a very interesting text editor slash environment. Um, it's different than Vim. You again, because the whole system is like a research operating system, you could very much change the way Acme functions and make it more Vim like. Um, I'm not going to say it's going to be just as easy as going in and changing a config file, but yeah, you can definitely do that. Um, it's it's very different. What we're going to go ahead and do. Open the containing folder. Oh, I already had it down. Of course I already had it downloaded. I thought I checked my downloads and it said it was empty. Whatever. Okay, fine, computer. So what we're actually gonna do is load up a terminal here. And I'm already in my downloads. Wait, do I already have the command up here? Huh. I do. That's what it's all about. Did I put my super easy password in here? No, I didn't. Oh, I did. Oh, cool. Okay, well, I'll have to change that eventually. Can't keep my super easy password in here. That's not not going to happen. But yeah, so um, we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm just oh wow, that was quick. Okay, well of course it was quick. I always forget. Yeah, it wasn't that much at all, and I'm using USB 3, of course. So we have it on the USB drive, and so go back here. Okay, so I've taken out my mouse and the USB drive. Taken out both of these just because I essentially need to. Um, the trackpad does work, but the Plan9 makes use of all your mouse buttons. So if you want to use Plan9, and now you can use a trackball, mouse, like whatever, as long as it does have a middle click functionality, like a scroll wheel, with a click. You want the 3 buttons. You want a scroll wheel, or at least a third mouse button. You want the main 2 and the scroll wheel, the mouse click, because it's going to make use of all those. Which, here's the thing. So many of us tiling window like people, like tiling window manager people, to want to get away from you know, the mouse, use the keyboard more because, well, like, I mean, if we're being completely honest, the mouse is just like improperly used for so many different things. Like it's used in so many different tasks where it really shouldn't be needed. Like, I mean, as someone who uses FFF and stuff, like, you really don't need a mouse for everything. And as someone who now has a keyboard where I can move my mouse by just pressing a key and then moving it around with, it's like, why not do it? So I don't know. Yes, mouse is still very much useful for many things in the modern time, but most of the time, all you're using it for is clicking buttons inside of a web browser. That's it. So, yeah. Um, Plan9, on the other hand, actually makes smart use of a mouse, which is interesting. Uh, Wind blows. Yeah. Yeah. There's there's a lot about Plan9 that is very neat and interesting. It's just one of those things where it's not because of its very lacking hardware support. It's just really hard to justify recommending to just about anybody. All right, so I've got the USB drive plugged in. Let me plug in my other USB drive. Sorry, I think my cap hit the microphone. My bad. All right. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on, and we're going to hit the F2 button, boot up into the BIOS, make sure the SanDisk is the bootable drive. Cool. All right, so we're booting off of the USB drive. You're going to get this kernel boot. Here we get this Plan9 kernel that comes up. And so inside of this Plan9 console here, here's what I'm seeing. For one thing, I can move around the mouse. Again, I can move it around too with the, okay, never mind, the trackpad's not working. That's interesting. Actually, it's completely frozen up. Yeah. It's actually frozen up. Hold on, let me give it a reboot. Maybe it just freaked out that time. Who knows? Yep, there it goes. Okay, now it's fine. I think it was just the first boot scared it. But so after it actually boots up, you'll get a Plan9 console here. And you'll have it spit out, I mean, it spits out Plan9, then, I mean, a whole bunch of crap. You get some CPU stuff. It actually detects, I believe, my Wi-Fi, because I see IWM or IWL 54 megabits port, but that doesn't mean it actually works. I also see /lib/firmware/IWM does not exist, so I think it's pulling for something that's actually not on here. Yeah, I actually like trackballs. I do have a trackball mouse. I've been using this Jellycomb one lately just because it actually is surprisingly good. It's not ergonomic whatsoever. I will not lie about that at all, especially with my oversized hands. So, but it detects the drive and it reads it as SD capital E O or 0 and detects it right. And then I get a whole bunch of dev output because on my actual drive, I do have 9FAT, or 9FAT. I have a Plan9 installed, 9 front, Plan9 front, whatever. So it tells me how it's cut up. And we got some boot arguments here. Let me see if I can't take the webcam and get a better shot of this for you guys here. So let me see if I can get this set up where you can see stuff. So I know that's not probably legible almost at all, but it's asking for some boot arguments down here, which let me see if I can't do something a little finicky with this webcam. Let me see. No. I don't know how in the world I can get it to make right. Yep, yep, and this thing is going to be blindingly white, trust me. So it's asking for some boot arguments, and it's got a default already in here. I'm going to click enter, and then it's going to ask us for a user, and it's already got something in here. It's Glinda. Hold on. Let me see if unplugging this light or dimming it way down will help at all. Maybe. Somewhat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. But it's asking for a user. And we're giving it Glinda. Because that is the actual Plan9 bunny. The mascot for Plan9 is Glinda. So we're going to give it Glinda. And then it's going to ask us for the VGA size. We're just going to give it the default there as well. Monitor is, and we're going to go with the VESA, which is the default again. And then it's going to ask us for the mouse port, and we're just going to give it PS2. And then after hitting that, it's going to like lock up for a second. And then what we're going to get is Plan9 here on the laptop. And so we've got the terminal up here, right here. I wish this thing would focus. It's really hard to get this thing to focus. Like it'll go into focus and then it just goes out of focus. But we got the system monitor up there and the terminal. And again, if we were to run ls here, I mean, we would get, you know, output. We are actually in this. So, you know, it works. It works. And it's sort of nice. So let's demo the system out a little bit. So if we right click here on with the mouse and you got to hold it down, you're going to get this little menu. So you get new, resize, move, delete, and hide. And so if we clicked hide, we could go here. And now if you were to, your natural instinct is going to be to left click. And if you left click, nothing happens. So what you actually need to do is right click, hide, and right click again, and boom, it's gone. Now you click on this again, and now there will be an option called RC because that's what the terminal is. It's RC. So you click there, boom, 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 it's back. Bada bing, bada boom. So, cool. Wait, what's Plan9's license? Yes, it's MIT. So now, if you want to install Plan9 to your system, let's go through that. It's actually super easy. So if you type inst/start, you are going to start the install. Wow, super complex. You know, everything is a file. It's taken to the extreme literal here. So it'll say preparing menu, and then the following unfinished tasks are ready to be done. So we're going to go through configuring the file system to install. So config fs, then config net. So we configure the network, and then tz setup, which is choosing the time zone. So super easy install. Nothing super complicated here. So we're going to go config fs. And so we can choose the two. We have, let me see if I can get this thing to focus. We have CWFS64X and HJFS. And so here the default is CWFS. But as far as I know, HJFS has more benefits and stuff. And so what I watched recommended you go with HJFS. And so I'm going to type that out here. And then you can go through here, and now the next thing it's going to, so we've gone through config fs, and so now you would go through part disk, prep disk, and then mount fs and everything. For me, it's actually trying to say mount fs because it's actually detected that I've already, oh, I totally forgot to mute my phone. Sorry about that, boys. Give me 1 second. I'll do that. Yeah, so because I've already done it, it's actually trying to get me to do mount fs first. But we're going to go through here and part the disk. So I'm actually going to type out part disk and hit enter. And then so it's showing SDE0 here, which is my drive inside of this laptop, and it's seeing that I have an EFI system, Plan9, all of that. So disk to partition, it's giving me SDEO and SDU and everything, and that is actually my USB drive. So we're going to type in SDEO, and then here we're going to delete. And so for D, now you could go and get help here doing question mark, I believe. Yep. And it'll spit out all this information right here. So you can get delete, all the stuff you need to know. And so DP1, DP2, and then we're going to write, and yeah, we'll go ahead and quit. And then we're going to go through back into part disk. And the only reason I'm going to do this is because if you try and do it repartition it all together, for some reason you'll end up with an extra little partition that I don't really like. Don't really know why, but when you go through here, now we'll see we have, I've deleted them, but now we've still got them here. Let me see. We should have deleted these. Right. And quit. Okay. Why? Hmm. Why are you not deleting them? Very weird. Well, it didn't do this the first time. I guess it's not doing it just because it's already installed or some shit. I have no idea. But the first time you just go through there and you delete, like if you already have anything installed on the drive, you just delete the partitions for, Linux and everything. You right quit, and then you go back through there, and it will give you a default option of partitioning the drive. Like it'll auto partition it sort of for you. And and then you'll, as soon as you go through that, then you go through the mounting the file system, configuring the network, and the time zone setup, and that's it. And then we're just going to go ahead and skip that just because it's acting weird. But again, it's again very much like an OpenBSD install. You just hit enter a whole bunch, man. It's really not that complex. Again, I guess unless you already have it. Okay, so wait, did it actually partition my drive for me? Because now it's saying there's no boot drive. Oh, good Lord. Are you serious? Huh. Okay, so it did partition it. All right, well, let's hop back into that install then. Let me set this right here. Dude, I might have been speaking absolutely nonsense. A simple Arch install. Yep. All right, so let's boot this up. User Glinda. Yep, that monitor size and everything seems good with me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do for you guys is move this right down here. We're going to go install / start. And now I'm noticing that the screen is completely blown out. Epic. Like, there's just no way to get this webcam to like focus, right? There's just no way. Like, I don't have a chance in hell getting this right. Like, why will you not focus? I have to get so close to the screen or some shit for it to work. All right, so it's asking us to configure the file system. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do JFS. We're going to do part disk. We go SDE0. Now, and so a Plan9 partition will be suggested. You probably just type WNQ, and that's correct because we have an EFI system and a Plan9 system. So W, then Q, and then now it's actually giving us what we need to do. Now it's defaulting to mount FS, but there's actually prep disk before that, and that wasn't there before. So I'm actually going to go ahead and type out prep disk because I want to go ahead and check that out. So Plan9 partition to subdivide dev SDO Plan9. Yep, that's what it's defaulting to. Do that. Oh, partitions already exist, not repartitioning. Okay, cool. Q. All right, so it already did that, so that's why it defaulted to mount FS. Cool. So we didn't even have to do that. Mount FS. So HJFS partition. And now what we want to do is type out slash. So it's giving us 2 before it's saying there's no default. So we have dev slash dev slash SDE0 slash FS cache, and the same SDE slash 0 slash FS worm. We actually want to do the FS cache here. That's our partition here. So slash dev slash SDE0 slash FS cache. And then size of RAM, or size of RAM file system cache, just do the default, and then ream the file system. The default is yes, do that. then it's going to spit out some stuff, and then it's going to take you back to the menu, and now it's config dist, which is choosing the source of the distribution archive. And so here, if you click enter again to go into doing that, it's going to say the distribution is from local or net, and the default's local. Just take it. That's from the USB drive. It's from the ISO that you downloaded. Just do that. And then configuring the network, can click enter here, and so that it literally just runs through it, and now we're back. So we want to mount the distribution, or mount dist, which is locate and mount the distribution. So do that, press enter there, and it's saying distribution disk, and it's giving us a whole bunch of recommendations. And then the actual default is just root, and that's what we want. So just hit enter there. Location of archives is root. Hit enter there. Again, that was the default. So again, it's just a whole bunch of pressing enter. Task to do copy dist. So we're going to copy the distribution into the file system. Click enter on here. And then this is going to be the most time consuming process here, because it's actually copying over, Plan9 to the computer. Now, the one thing I will go ahead and say about this is it's Plan9. It's very minimalist. Even though this is the most time-consuming process, it's not like we're going to be here for 5 minutes. It's very minimal. So as long as this is actually working as USB 3 speeds, then this probably won't take long. That's also considering that Plan9 front supports USB 3. I think it does. I'm not sure. I have no idea on how that would work. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this weird setup, weird stream. Oh, YouTube hit a comment. Sorry, Krishna, I don't have my mouse plugged in and my keyboard's a little inaccessible. I would show your comment, but you said, hot take, creators in my perspective are only good until they have, are only good when they have small audiences, because they can cater to everyone in their community. When these creators become big, they don't give a shit. Yeah, but I think also, like, I have friends that are, have much larger communities than I do, and they still very much care. I think it's just when you hit a certain point, you can't keep up with everyone, and that's the sad part, because I think a lot of creators do care. There are definitely those that don't. Like, let's not kid ourselves. There are definitely those that don't, but I feel like quite a lot of them do care, but their audiences are too big and they can't keep up with everyone, which is sad. But hey, we're growing, but I think I'm still keeping up, which is good. But yes, Joshua, your money is doing work right now. This stream should be archived and everything, so you can definitely go back and watch the beginning and everything. This is an interesting live stream, that's for sure. This past 2 days, just using Plan9, researching Plan9 has been interesting. We are actually installing Plan9 right now, and my webcam here is just sitting looking at the screen, because I don't have a professional setup for being able to record, and I didn't want to do it from my phone because there's just problems with that. Also, I was maybe watching a Netflix show on my phone, doing stuff on the computer. I may have been watching Lucifer and like heavily addicted to the show just because it's so freaking funny. But right now we're literally copying Plan9 over to the hard drive of this laptop, or more aptly SSD of the laptop, but still. This is the most time consuming part of the install here, but it's very similar to a BSD install. Very simple, just a lot of pressing enter. And after this, we'll have it installed. We'll boot it up. We'll do some more nifty things. I'll show off some more that you can do with the system. And then I'll put the webcam back up on the shelf, and we'll talk some more and take questions, and yeah, we'll just talk for a bit. Well, hopefully you'll learn a little bit more before the evening's over. Yes, because Plan 9 itself will not work on anything modern, like anything at all. Now, Plan 9 Front, or 9 Front, whatever you want to call it, does have much more hardware compatibility support, but on my desktop, for some reason, my keyboard doesn't work on it. Even though the Wi-Fi adapter works on my desktop, which is so freaking annoying. But on the Dell laptop, the kernel doesn't even boot. On this laptop, it at least installs and, runs, but it just, Wi-Fi doesn't work on here, and that's really annoying because the only way I have to actually use it otherwise is to get internet on it is with an Ethernet cord to USB-C adapter, which is, for one thing, up my grandparents' house, but also that means I can't charge the laptop at the same time. And even though battery performance on Plan 9 is not terrible, it's not amazing either. It's just kind of average. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll have a really good time with it on ThinkPads too. Mhm. Wi-Fi not working, it sounds like a personal problem. True. Which is one thing I find this as a really interesting operating system to use even offline. The cool thing about Plan 9 is it's such a simple system that, I mean, like, if you're like a doomsday prepper, but you're also like nerdy, like Plan 9 is the perfect thing for you because, I mean, if you dedicated 2 years to learning everything about Plan 9, I mean, in the event that you can never use the internet again, you could always rebuild yourself a working environment with Plan 9. It's very, very minimal. It's very interesting. Even Plan 9 Front, which has much more support, is it's much easier to understand. It's much smaller, much more slimmed down than something like the Linux kernel, which is very interesting. It does, but I don't have any adapters for Ethernet to just regular USB. The only Ethernet adapter I have is a USB-C to Ethernet adapter. And again, it's up at my grandparents' house. I need to go get it. I just haven't gone up there. This is taking way longer than I remember it taking. But hey, is what it is. Wait, Smoig, you don't want to go over there because you've been trying out Emacs for a whole month? Have you been hanging around Peter too much? So is this what I'm hearing? You've developed a very, very deep friendship with Peter, and now you're an Emacs guy? Look, man, I really like Peter, but I'm not going to let him influence me into becoming an Emacs man. have a lot of respect for DT. I'm still not going to let him influence me to turn out to an Emacs user. I mean, in all seriousness, Emacs is great, but just not for me. Well, I wish it was exciting. We've been sitting here waiting for it to copy over this crap for quite a while now, and nothing's happening. The flash drive is decently warm. I guess that's a sign that it's doing something. I don't know. Hopefully this thing's doing something. Man, Emacs. Yeah, that ain't no Emacs ain't a thing, bro. There's only Acme. Acme. The more I use Linux, the more I love Unix. I just wish BSDs has less of a cuck license. What? I don't understand that one bit. The only thing about the BSD licenses is they're not a virus. Um, Super fans of the GPL, don't be offended there, but I mean I don't see how you can. It is literally a virus. Anything it touches gets infected and has to become the same thing. So, you know, um, but no, I mean you're welcome to your opinion. Uh, Again, that's pretty much what you're going to find inside of this community. Almost everyone is this way. Like, even though we might disagree, welcome to your opinion. I don't think we have any like radical extremists here. I've definitely met them, but I I don't think we have any of them here. Peter is very intense in his love of Emacs, but still, even then, I don't call him extremist one bit. He's not like offended if you use Vim. He's just definitely a shill for Emacs, 100%. Yeah, yes, they do. Yes. I think actually inside of Plan9 itself, like there's a page. I believe there's a page for Emacs there in just regular Plan9 too. Um, there's also Sam Editor, which doesn't a lot of stuff with regex. Never heard of Sam Editor. I need to try that out. The only thing I like about Emacs over Vim is that it has a GUI. Um, hmm, I hate the GUI aspect of Emacs. Like, fervently hate it. Will you be using the Rio desktop? Um, the desktop won't work only because my keyboards won't work. I think the only way to get um, a keyboard working with my desktop would actually be to use a PS2 keyboard, and I don't have one of those. Sorry, boys. Just don't. Uh, uh, okay, so this is not working. It should have definitely been done by now. So let's try this install again. Yay. Right, enter, enter. Get this thing booted up. Now need to move you down here where you guys can see something. And we're going to do install/start and config fs HJFS, mount FS, and then we got to do the FS cache, so /dev/SDE0/FS cache. Regular, we'll take the defaults. Config dist, yep. Local from the actual USB, yep. Config net, do that. Mount distribution, yep. Default, yep. Again, I'm just pressing a lot of enters here. Copy dist, yep. Start doing that. And we're back here processing this again. Yeah, I can't replace Vim either. Love it. Ooh, ouch. Yeah. Yeah. What CPUs can bottleneck really fast storage. But that being said, it's not like you need like a Core i9 or something, in a file server. That's for damn sure. Hopefully, I mean, who knows? Maybe it was working. It just takes this long. I don't remember it taking this long to install at all. I remember it being quite fast. You know, well, it's not responsible for the development of the Intel management engine. Like, I mean, you got to think about it like this. If Intel wants to make something, they're going to make it. It just helped. I mean, the thing about the BSD license is it's the free and open source mindset, but to the extreme, where like the whole FOSS ideal is that you make something and when you make something, it's available to everyone to learn from and use however they choose. The thing about the GPL though is the GPL goes, well, you're allowed to do anything that you want with it as long as you abide by the same ideology of everyone should be able to use it, again, for their own reasons and everything. The BSD license goes, no, it's truly in anything, or it's truly for everyone. However you want to use it, use it. If you want to make something proprietary with it, make something proprietary. Which, not a bad thing. Yes, verbosity is important. Oh my God, it finally finished. Damn. All right. Okay. Did not remember it taking that long, but all right. So now we need to do the time zone setup. Press enter, and then it's detecting the default is US Eastern, and that's not right. So we're going to do US underscore Central. And then boot setup, hit enter. It's got the default, yep. And now the task to do is finish. All right, so congratulations, you've completed the install. All right, then it kicks us out. It did Like it gave me like 0.2 seconds to see it, but it told me don't forget to take out the USB drive. Okay, so now it's asking, it's booted up, and we're getting, you know, the regular Plan9 output that it gives you. And then here at the bottom, we've got boot arguments, and it's got a default. The default FS cache is in here, so we're going to press enter, and then it's going to ask us for, oh my gosh, if this webcam could like focus at all. It's going to ask us for our user. We're going to give it Glinda, which is the default, and bada bing, bada boom, we're in the system. So again, our mouse is going to work. Obviously, mouse is a critical part of Plan9. Right click here, we get our menu. We can resize here, right click on this window here, and then our cursor changes, and we can just right click and redraw out a window and resize it just like that. If we go back in here, right click again, we'll move, right click, and then we can move it around. Right click at this menu again, delete, right click on it, boom, it's gone. So just like that, if we right click and get a new, and then draw us out a window with a right click, we can go in here, and if we do Acme, which is their sort of editor here, you get this sort of nice work environment, text environment. And again, everything is a button. So this text down here, which these are directories, if the webcam would focus, we can use the middle mouse button and double click on these, or I should be able to. If double click, hello. Okay, this worked earlier. I don't know why it's not working now. Why are you not working now? Oh, duh. It's right click, not middle mouse button. Good Lord. Now, if you want to click on these up here, it's middle mouse button. So if you want to exit it or something, hold on. I don't think I did a good job of showing that off. So, oh, and by the way, if you use your arrow keys, you're not really going to be like, that's not how you go re-enter a command or anything. But for these buttons up here, you will actually be pressing the middle mouse button on those to exit. So it makes use of all your mouse buttons. You by default here do have a little system like, you know, system monitor going on. And again, the way you're supposed to use Plan9 is very different than other operating systems. So let me go ahead and turn up my light. And I'm going to set you guys back up here like so. Hopefully that's good right there. Perfect. All right. So the way you're supposed to use it, the focus of this thing is just horrible, man. It's just awful. But there's really not much I can do about it, for being honest. But the way everything works is as a file. It's very different. The way you're supposed to deploy Plan9 in your home is very different. What you're supposed to do is, now the way this will default here is we essentially have this 9 front system here set up as it's a terminal, a CPU server, file server, and authentication server all in one. But the way you're supposed to deploy Plan9 is you're supposed to have the computers or the devices that you actually interact with and use Plan9 from big terminals. You're supposed to have one server in your house that has a really nice CPU in it that you do all of your compilation, decompiling, all of that stuff on. Then you're supposed to have an authentication server, which keeps all of your computers, in check, keeps all the devices, well, authenticated and secure. And then you have one server that is for file storage, sort of like a NAS. And that's how you're supposed to actually deploy Plan9 and set it up, which is very, very interesting. It's quite nice. I really do appreciate the the sort of, I don't know, it's a very intelligent way of setting up a system, especially in the age of where most people do have access to a lot of computers. You do have a lot of computing power in your home. So why not make use of your devices in a very smart way? Instead of trying to pack as much power as you can into each device, have one device that does compute and all of that stuff, and then have simple terminals for everything else. I did show Acme, but I'll go ahead and load it up again and show it off. So here we go. Let's get this terrible focus. We load up Acme here. You've got a really nice text editor here. You've already got some, you can go through here and go through directories, edit different files if you like, and we've got these different options up here: new, cut, paste, snarf, sort, Xerox, and delete column. And if you click that, so if we go over here and click delete column, you're going to see obviously that column gets deleted. Let's go in here and let's create a new file. Right click, and it's going to start you off, and we can go in here and start typing away our next novel here. I'm sure with the way Disney's effing stuff is going right now, that this right here will be the next movie they put out. This right here will be the next Star Wars script that I'm writing right now. And if you're wondering, like, hey, that looks like you're just randomly slapping the keyboard, yes. And this right here will be the language in which they speak in the next Star Wars movie. So, yeah. And now if we go up in here, good Lord, if I look at my mouse, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look on OBS and it's tiny. And so we can click delete here, get rid of that. Errors, unnamed file modified. Delete, and exit. It's actually pretty nice. It's not Vim, okay? So look, and it's not Emacs too. So with it not being those two text editors, I know some of you are going to be like, well, but it's not those. Yes, it's not. It's not Vim. It's not Emacs. It's not meant to emulate or be one of those. It's its own thing. Their default shell is RC. I have no idea how to write scripts, how to do anything of the sort. I don't even know how to play music here. I have just learned the basics of how to use the system and what it is. Yeah, and there's not a chat load of information on Plan9 either. There is definitely information on it, but there's not a ton. There's not a wealth of information on Plan9. It's obviously not Linux. So you're definitely not going to be getting support like you would be if you were using Linux. Yes. So if you type out man Emacs here on Plan 9 or 9 front, you'll get Emacs name, Emacs editor macros, synopsis, Emacs, and then in brackets options. The description: this page is intentionally left blank. The source is MIT. See also SAM and VI. Bugs is yes, because there is no Emacs on Plan 9. Just not. Um, well, neither Vim or Emacs can play Crysis, but Acme can, man. Like, believe it or not, like, I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone on, like, I was shredding Warzone here on Plan 9 yesterday. Now, it might have been a dream, but still, I was playing Warzone, you know, kicking butt, taking names with my buddies here on Plan 9. All through the power of Acme. I'm gonna find out here in a few days that you can do like just about anything with Acme, and then I'll be happy. Because if I can actually play anything other than like OG Doom here on Plan 9, I'll be very impressed. As far as I know, I can't, like, as far as I know, you can play Doom here on Plan 9. Um, no, it's not POSIX compatible. That's actually something I do know. It is not POSIX compatible. Nope. Nope. Unfortunately, it is not POSIX. I will tell you that. It is not POSIX compliant. It is very much their own thing. But if we man into RC, there's a big man page for you to read through. And I will say one thing too, some commands are very different. Like, for one thing, CP will not copy a full direct, like, so if you Google how to mount a USB drive on Plan 9, it's not difficult. You essentially just take the device and you pretty much just take the devices folder, and you mount it. You do some routing to get there, but it's like literally 3 commands. It's 4 commands if you're going to format it, but if you've got it formatted like FAT or I think exFAT is a problem, but if you've got a drive that's under 32 gigabytes, just a small drive that you use to like transfer stuff, like music or something like that, you can just use FAT32 and that's going to work just fine. Because I formatted this with FAT, just regular old FAT, on Linux, and then or no, not regular FAT32. You get what I'm saying, with FAT, and then on Linux, and transferred over. I had it mounted, and I could see my music directory that I had put on it, but I couldn't transfer it over because CP just told me that it was a folder. I would actually have to copy over each individual file. I'm sure there's some flag or like moving it. I can't remember why I couldn't just move it, but that wouldn't work either. It's very different. It's going to take me a bit more time to learn more about the system, and when I've done that, I'll make a video showing off how to actually use Plan 9 to do different stuff. Copying over files, how to I don't know, because I don't even know if you can listen to music on Plan 9. Hopefully you can. We'll figure that out. Um, I don't know. We'll figure out just different stuff that you can do with it. Um, I'll find out how to write some scripts to do some basic things. Um, you know, Plan 9 said POSIX was horrible. Yeah, yeah, they heavily disagree with POSIX. Well, that's the thing. I do have a browser. There's Mothra, and there's another one. I can't remember its name right now. I believe it starts with an A. But so here, what I should be able to do is just type out web FS. And you need to do this before you do anything with the internet, because again, everything is a file. So you need to set up your actual, like, set up Plan 9 to interact with the internet. You need to set up the file system in which to do so. So you type out webfs, you hit enter there, and then you type out Mothra, or the other web browser that comes pre-installed with it. And then I have a URL and or a go-to URL where I can type out a URL. And if I type out https://google.com, it's going to give me it's giving me no status CS : no IP address, because it's not detecting the Wi-Fi card, or at least able to use it. So yeah, sad days. uh, yeah, I've never really done a whole bunch of POSIX scripting. Like for me, Bash is where it's at. As long as it's Bash, like I can, like, I don't know. I just really like Bash. I really really like Bash. Um, and I mean, to me, even though Plan 9 is not the, like, I don't think it's bad per se. It's just it's not modern, which makes it a problem because we live in a modern world. So it's not really something necessarily usable, but it is very interesting. There's a lot to be taken away from Plan 9. Um, I don't know. It does things very differently. It makes the mouse an integral part of the system. It uses the mouse in a very, I don't know, way that makes you actually like using the mouse. It makes the mouse seem important. Um, I don't know. Zook is the music player for Plan 9. Oh, okay. So there is a music player. Hold on. Let me right click new, trial to window, Zook. No command found. Yeah. So it's saying that it's not, that it hasn't found it. Who knows? Maybe you have to, like, actually select it or install it. I have no idea what I'm saying. Um, it's hard finding docs for it. Meanwhile, dang bash info just gives me the whole door. Yeah. Yeah, bash is just, oh, so nice. Bash is just great. Let's be real. Only reason I do POSIX is because, like I say, I actually do like BSDs. Well, here's one thing I will say about BSDs. if you want your scripts to be portable, just make them bash scripts. Like OpenBSD, it doesn't default to bash, but once you get over there, it already has OpenBSD, and I believe FreeBSD is the same. When you get over there, bash is already installed. It might not be the default, but it's installed. So all you got to do is do one command, and now you're back on a bash system. And if all your scripts are bash, I mean, again, in 5 seconds, you have a system where all of your scripts work. So, I mean, a bash is highly portable, especially over into the BSD world. Yeah, I mean, it just depends if you want to, like, I can't even remember what OpenBSD defaults to. I can't remember if it's like KSH or some shit, but look, it ain't ZSH and it ain't bash, so I don't give two shits about it. I just changed it over to bash. Bash is already there. And OpenBSD is absolutely fantastic. Like, I really do love OpenBSD. Quite frankly, if OpenBSD had the like Linux level game support, which, I mean, that's asking a lot from them. And I highly doubt it'll ever happen. But if it did, it would be the perfect world. Because it's a very secure system. It's very simple. It's elegant. The way they focus on quality of documentation is gorgeous. I believe it's TSH. It might be. I might be. It might be. I'm really thinking it's KSH, but you might be right there. Can't remember. But whatever it is, it ain't bash. Tell you that much. It's what it should be. What it should be. But again, you're only one command away. I mean, just CHSH that bitch. Get yourself back over onto bash, and the world is bliss and beautiful. Now, that being said, I do want to go ahead and say, Crazy Chicken, I really hope I didn't highly upset you there, because now that I think about it, you've probably spent a lot of effort into ensuring that your scripts are POSIX instead of just bash. So if you are like me and we're like, well, damn, I should just have them all bash, hope I didn't upset you. I hope I didn't make you feel like your effort was not good. I mean, your effort's probably great because you can port them over to more stuff, but I don't know. I'm all about bash. Like, if the system doesn't have bash, that's a problem to me. If I can't get bash on the system, like, come on now. Come on now. And that's why Plan9 for me is definitely not gonna, like, I wouldn't be able to use Plan9 for years to come. Yeah, I would miss bash, man. Like, I'm really attached to bash. I like it. Is ZSH2. ZSH is pretty nice. I like ZSH. I don't know. I tried fish, and fish, I just didn't fall in love with fish. Um, yeah, the problem with fish is, like, learning it to, like, the problem with fish isn't that I wouldn't like it, it's because I have to learn fish to be able to use it. And fish is one of those things where it just seems so invaluable to learn. Like, I don't know, the only reason that learning to learn fish would be so that I could interact with fish, and I really don't know of anything that fish does that ZSH can't do. And I mean, I don't even use ZSH practically ever. I sometimes go in and try it out from time to time. Uh, okay, okay. Uh, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Smoig, you're not wrong. But still, it depends on it depends on how simple the script you're doing is, and also how, because I mean, a lot of people, for because there are more bashisms that are more um I don't know, more obscure that you might be using if you copy and paste a lot of your shit, which can make it more difficult for the people who are new to do something like that. Which, again, most people, if you're trying to make all your stuff POSIX compliant, you're definitely not like super new to scripting, so it's not really that big of a deal. But still, uh, but yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm too lazy to learn fish. I feel you there. Feel you there. Uh, my skills further unportable. True. Good lord. Smoik. Tell me how you really feel. Oh, wait, really? POSIX doesn't allow arrays. Did not know that. With IFS and a loop. Oh, okay. It's weird, but like for me, like with what a lot of my scripts do, like I don't build out like heavy functionality in scripts. I should do that more, but I mean, there's not a lot of advanced stuff that I need to do with my computer. Just need to be able to upload videos, make videos, and then have some nice scripts for giving me information like subscriber counts, nice date and time. Um, I don't even have something like for weather. I don't need it, but I use my own scripts, change volume. I should also build one for getting network information. Um, hmm. Yeah, shell scripting is something that like I mean, it's weird. Even with the basic knowledge that I have, to a lot of people, I'm doing something crazy intelligent, but to someone who's been shell scripting for a long time, I'm like a baby in what I can get done. But it, it's one of those things that like you probably won't use business wise, but it comes in handy a lot. Like when you can build a script to do simple functionality, it's really nice because you end up not needing, you know, a program to do it for you, uh, which is just nice. Oh, it's all good, man. Catch up on your sleep, Toby, but thanks for stopping by. Random 120 math plus 4. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the best way to learn. Just jump in. Like, and the and the thing is too, it's like like I've had people tell me that I act like I know more than I do. And I hope I don't give that impression off. Like I truly don't know a lot. I just know how to get done what I need to get done. That's it. Like, I'm not an expert by any means, and I hope I don't give off that impression at all. Yes. Yes. When Matt and TFL get in a stream together, it's very educational. Uh, I really like those streams, and if you guys haven't seen them, I highly recommend going over to Matt's channel. And if you're just in case anyone in here who's watching this is unfamiliar with who Matt is, I'm talking about the Linux Cast. We do a podcast together. Go over there to his channel, and he has some live streams that he's done with Terminal for Life, and Terminal for Life is so good with shell scripting. And Matt has a really good way of, when TFL is explaining stuff, Matt has a really good way of ensuring that he's not going over anyone's head, because Matt is not afraid to ask questions when he doesn't know what's going on. And Matt's just like me. He is nowhere near an expert at shell scripting. And so Matt really does ask good questions while he's explaining, and ensures TFL breaks down everything that he should. There's nothing overlooked, because I mean it's common when you've been doing shell scripting like he has for so long, trying to explain something, there might be something that you overlook or think that someone already knows, and Matt just has a really good way of ensuring that doesn't happen. TFL is really good about not doing that, but still it happens, assuming that someone knows, shit. I mean, even assuming someone knows what a bashism is can be, a step too far. I'm sure there's somebody watching this, or at least watching this recording at some point, who has no clue what a bashism is. So you can't really assume that anyone knows anything. So yeah, they're very good. Highly recommend you go check them out. Like a real Unix chat. There you go, man. By the way, if anyone here is into shell scripting, but you're not using shell check yet, install and use shell check. Like, if you're learning shell scripting, that's great. Keep doing it, but install shell check and use it. All you got to do is run shell check and give it the program or the script that you're making, and it will, whatever language it is too, by the way, like shell check, except it can work with a multitude of languages, but it's really good at making sure that your script is not doing anything wrong. It's really good for debugging, but also in making sure that your scripts are made as best that they can be. Yes, Smoig, and I completely agree with you there. And I do want to go ahead and say something to people, because I know some of the people who make these comments will be watching this at some point. Look, if I get something wrong, tell me in the comments below, because here's the one thing. I get people who are very pissed off when I get something wrong, and I guess they don't understand this. I'm a person, and I will get things wrong. I am not a college professor. This is not a class, okay? If I'm trying to show you something, I'm showing you what I've done and what I think works. And most of the time, what I think works. If I tell you it works, it's because it worked for me. And so, yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm not a teacher. I get shit wrong. It happens. I'm definitely not college educated here, okay? So I don't have a fancy degree in computer science or anything. I'm not an engineer, okay? I'm not. Yeah, as long as you correct yourself in the future, yeah. And that's the thing. If I get something wrong, tell me about it. I'll admit, and then and then tell you what to do. Like I don't just, I'm not one of those types of people when I get something wrong to like double down on it. Uh, there's plenty of hills to die on, and most of the hills when it comes to like Linux and stuff are not the hills that I want to die on, you know? Like whether Emacs or Vim is better is not the hill that I want to die on. Like I'm good. Like I prefer Vim, but I mean, again, which one's better? I'm not gonna die on that hill. I'm not gonna spend my whole life fighting about which one's the best. If you're using Arch and you don't want Haskell dependencies, I think the AUR has it without them. Yeah, but I mean, in all reality, like I understand not wanting them if you're never going to use Haskell, but but I do have to agree with DT in the aspect that they're not that big. Like it's not like you're downloading like GNOME dependencies in the background. Like it's not that bad. Still, if you don't need it, you don't need it, so don't install it. That's the beautiful thing about Arch. So go and get it. But I mean, the argument that like you you definitely shouldn't get them because it's like freaking massive is like I don't know about that, man. It's not like the libraries that you need for Haskell. It's not like you're downloading even close to a gigabyte. Like it's all right, bro. It's all good. Calm down. Yes, and Smoik, that's a really big problem with people nowadays. Is I mean that's why misinformation is everywhere. We have trolls and everything on on the internet, and I don't think a lot of people are capable of understanding. Like, you have to like do research, man. Like, there's something called multiple sources, and you go and get it from like you go and research anything from multiple places. Like, yeah. I mean, I it's not like I just went to Plan9 or Nine Front's website and did just read this. I went to other places, said what other people thought about Nine Front, because at first I was pretty sure that this was like some scam website. Like, let's be real. Like, research, brother, research. I don't understand how it's impossible now. But oh, Crazy Chicken, I love it. I use Haskell. I love the language. I'm not a huge fan on Haskell, but I don't hate it either. It's not like bad. It's good. Um, it's just I'm not like a I like working with Python more than I do Haskell. But again, personal, it's just like a personal preference thing. Haskell's not horrible. It's a good language. Um, really, Haskell is being Unix philosophy compliant. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Go. Yeah. Oh God, go. Oh. Wait, DT made an argument about libc is also used, but dude, libc is used for dozens of programs. If you're only going to be using one program that needs all of that Haskell libraries, I mean, eh, you do you. I mean, yeah, but yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. Only reason people don't like Haskell is because it's functional and declarative in comparison to something like Python, which is multi-paradigmed and imperative. Yeah, 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 you're wrong. Or, I mean, I said you're wrong. You're right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's just a personal preference thing. I just like Python better, but uh, again, Haskell's nice. Like I don't have any reason to dislike it. I mean, if we're being honest, if this was my Arch system, I still have it. Like I still had all the Haskell dependencies and Xmonad installed. Wasn't using it, but because I've gone back to using TWM. Now I'm using Elementary, and I'm using, well, obviously their Pantheon desktop, but it's nice. Background as a little bit dev, yeah. I mean, but then again, I mean, see, like that's the thing. When you start talking about like languages and stuff, like we might as well just. I mean, we're just comparing like what cheeses we like, man. Like it's just personal preference. Like what you like is what you like. What you've used in the past, like what you enjoy using. So I mean, it's just that. It's just personal preference. The only real language I'm proficient in is R. Is R. I don't know anything about R in Python. I want to learn Go and Java. I'm not interested in Go, but I do know Java. Uh, but too lazy. Yeah, and I mean, like learning Java is pretty valuable though, because I mean, you'd be surprised how many like entry level jobs you can get where you like. I mean, if you just know Java, even still today, uh, you'd be surprised. Yeah, yeah, uh, true. Yeah, shell scripting is the just it's so nifty and so functional. Um, it's very nice. Like I mean, I gotta be honest. Um, for me, like game programming and shell scripting are just as fun, and that's really saying something because game programming is really fun. I really love that. Um, can't hear you, but maybe I can talk for 15 minutes or a few. Oh, don't know why you can't hear me, Lewis. Um, I only know Lua because I used to write a shit ton of WoW add-ons. I don't know why Joshua like YouTube hit that. It's probably just because you said shit, but um, I can't show it just because my mouse is plugged in this laptop and I don't want to walk around my computer and plug it in. Screw it. I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna move the webcam so you guys can at least see me while we're talking. Good lord, this freaking USB is like melded in here. Oh, good lord, that was so difficult. Oh my god. Put that in right there. Go around, grab you guys, and take you back around here, and plug you right up down. Yeah. All right. Perfect. 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 Well, I mean, not really perfect because this thing's behind me. So let me grab this. Oh gosh, I need to dust my shelves. I'm so I'm so dirty. Gosh, everything's falling apart. Let me screw this in. Okay. All right. So there we go. Guess we'll just keep talking here for a bit. I'm gonna turn this laptop off. And we'll talk about I guess other stuff than how my week's gonna go in Plan9 because it's gonna be real interesting. It's for damn sure. So until I started using it, I want to say so Saturday. So next Saturday will be the point when I can just start using my regular old computer again. Uh, for anything other than, I mean, I'll have to do the podcast and everything from my main system, but for anything other than that, it'll just be for Plan9. So, shit, boys. It's gonna be interesting. It's just gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot more educational content about Plan9. That's for damn sure. And there will definitely be days this week where you don't get a video. So just be prepared for that. Uh, but also Lewis, welcome to the stream, man. Mozzarella or bust? Mozzarella, 100%. Which is why the future plan of making shell library to program your... Yeah, you're not Java or Python. Python, like, primarily, like, you can get quite a few entry-level positions with Python. Get quite a few. Because there are quite a few companies out there that want people who can program with Java or excuse me, with Python, and Java as well. Yeah. R is great for statistics and data science. Great language, to be honest, but okay. I really liked WoW for a time, for a very short time in my life. But I never stopped liking it. I just liked it and like really liked it and played it a ton. And then people that I like made friends with in the game just stopped showing up and I lost interest in it. But like, dude, like when you have like a group of friends that you play WoW with, like, oh my God, there's like no better game. Like, teaming up with people is just so fun in WoW. Yeah, well, I've actually already started. Doing this stream right here is the first time that I've actually used this. Like, I actually had to take the side panel off my computer over here to be able to start it up because I had turned it off. And if you don't know anything about when I built this computer, I may have been real stupid and accidentally ran the like front panel connectors, some of them, not all of them, to the point where they couldn't be plugged in. Like, I don't know, power switch one. It may have been ran under the motherboard by some doofus who didn't know what he was doing and was too lazy to take it all apart. So now I just turned the computer on with a screwdriver. So yeah, I know I'm super advanced, but anyway, and definitely not a lazy POS. But anyway, yeah, I started Saturday. So this coming Saturday will be 1 week in Plan9. And if I didn't have my super killer migraine and work Saturday or yesterday, I would have had a little bit more to talk about today, but yeah. Weak auras. No. I never got into add-ons or anything. I just played base WoW. And like some expansion or some shit. It's been so long I can't even remember. It was one of them. So I mean, I've kept up with it, but I haven't played it. I hope there's a way to record directly in Plan9. Oh, dude, nah. No, no, man. There's no X11 here. It's using its own thing. As far as I know, there's not really a way for it to play video, like almost at all. You would need to build out that functionality. Yes, well, see, that's the only problem with Python, is Python is used in places where it shouldn't be. Like, the only reason Python has such a bad name is, I mean, there are literally people who want to make games that want to make AAA graphics and are using Python for that game. That is no. Like if your program is simple, or I don't know, you're making like a file browser Like if it's made in Python, oh, ain't no problem, man. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Python ain't too slow for that, even though some dipshit out there will tell you it's too slow to make a file browser in. Like, come on, no, it's not. When your file browser needs to be able to play like epic video and be able to do a whole bunch of shit in the background, like, no, you don't use Python for that. Like, come on, think sensibly. Like, it's used in places where it shouldn't be, and that's the real problem with Python. And that's the problem with a lot of things in the world. It's really not that the thing itself is bad. It's just that it's just, in a lot of the cases, it's just improperly used. Same thing with Comic Sans. Comic Sans is not necessarily a horrible font. It's actually not a terrible font at all. For dyslexic people, it's fantastic. The problem is people put it on like things like EMT trucks and like defibrillators, like shit that you need to save someone's life. Like, you shouldn't be using a comic-y font for that. Like, what? No. Like a funeral card on Comic Sans. Like, I mean, come on. If someone gave you a get well soon card, or like, you were terminally ill and someone gave you a card, like, wouldn't you be pissed off if it had Comic Sans on it? Like, come on now. Come on. Just, um, yeah, I totally understand you, Ben. Um, yes, I am feeling much better today. I woke up feeling much better. Thanks for asking, Dylan. Thank you. Hope you've been feeling good today too. I know you said you've been sick recently. Hopefully you're like back to 100%. Smoy, unrelated. I've tried Subway once. Didn't like it. Tastes really bland. It can be bland. It can be. Like, I mean, but then again, I mean, if you get like, a steak sub with some pepper jack on it, some like Chipotle Southwest sauce, some lettuce, some onions. Maybe you are like me. I get some oil and vinegar on that bitch, a little bit of salt, and I throw us a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top of it. And do I get anything else on it? If I'm feeling like some really hot shit, I'll throw some jalapenos on there, but that's a little bit much. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And yeah, call it a day. Go sit down, eat that. It got some good flavor to it. Now, if you just get some meat, a little bit of cheese on that bitch, and maybe like lettuce and onion or something like that, or maybe onion is too much, you get like green, like bell pepper or some shit. Like, yeah, that bitch gonna be bland. You gotta add the flavor to it, because the meats there, like, they're not seasoned or anything. They're just, the meats there are bland. Like, what the flavor comes from the sauces or oil of vinegar, salt and pepper. Like, it is very bland. Not, I won't lie for a second about that. Luckily at the Subway that I work at, like, we get pretty damn good fresh produce, but I know across the US there are some Subways that don't. Times New Roman is the best neutral font. I hate the way Times New Roman looks. Just me personally. I hate it. Um, hate it. Like, just hate it. And gotta be honest, it may just be because that's like the font that I was forced to use in school. And so I was forced to use Times New Roman on every dumb essay I had to write and all of that. And that might be why I hate it. It reminds me of a time when I had to use a computer for the sole purpose of doing stuff that I didn't really want to do or that I didn't have an interest in. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I just really don't like Times New Roman. Personally, I'm not saying it's a horrible font or anything. Objectively, it's not a horrible font at all. I just really don't like it. Yeah, TTF like Liberation is damn good in my opinion. Um, all good. Back to smashing 4 monsters a day, so I'm back on the grind. Good God, man. Man, I had literally two V8 energy drinks today. I had one during the morning and one now, and these are like just like a little bit stronger than a coffee. They've got like green, like the green coffee or whatever. Wait, what is it, like green tea or some shit? Yeah. So steady energy from black and green tea. Um, but it's got a little bit more than a cup of coffee of caffeine in it. Had two of those, and I drank half of this Coke. Uh, like I drank half of it like a couple days ago or some shit. I think it was Friday. Drank half of it then, but I just wanted something other than water, and so grabbed that. And like, dude, I was scared that I had too much sugar and caffeine. Like when the stream first started, I was like my heart was a beating. And dude, I don't know how you can do four monsters a day. Oh yeah, you still on LFS, man? You still rocking LFS, Ben? Still doing that? I don't know why I looked up at the ring. I totally forgot. Camera's on top of the monitor. I wish I was on Rel. Be I would have a lot more options for doing stuff than here on Plan9. I mean, pretty much all I can do is figure out how to do very basic stuff on Plan9, and then do a couple videos showing how to do some cool stuff on Plan9. I mean, not even cool stuff, basic stuff on Plan9. And that'll be about it. I usually go turkey, lettuce, onions, pepper jack, and some chilies on toasted flatbread with some oil and onion chutney. Pretty nice. We don't have those options. But yeah, like my go-to, my okay, for being real, like my like real go-to is meatballs, meatballs, with mozzarella cheese, and bacon on Italian herbs and cheese, with green pepper and onion, salted, and then toasted. So like the green peppers and onions go in it with toasting, so they get toasted too. It smells amazing, comes out fantastic. But come out, take that over, put lettuce on it, lettuce, and then banana peppers. What am I trying to think of next? Salt. Oh no salt. Pepper, onion, onion. Good lord, I already got that on there. Vinegar and oil, and then Parmesan cheese, like a lot of Parmesan cheese, and then that bad boy. Oh, so good, so not healthy whatsoever, but it's so good. Oh, dude, yeah. I hope you get feeling better, man. Oh, really? I mean, fried onions are amazing, but yeah, no, I like onions. Yes, Firehouse. All right, look, take it from somebody who actually works at Subway. Firehouse subs are way better. 100%. I'll just come out and say it. They're better. They're so much better. So much better. Firehouse subs is so fire. So fire. Man, like straight up, if I had some dipshit working at Firehouse Subs that would trade me Subway sandwiches for Firehouse Subs, that would be the hookup right there. I don't think there's anyone that dumb working at Firehouse. Like, if you work around Firehouse Subs, you know which one's better. All it takes is trading once for them to be like, nah, we ain't doing that again. Mono fur is the best. Hell yes, man. I agree. Mono fur, nerd fun, all the way. All the way. Um, yeah, just use mono fur, man. You'll be happy. Um, Wait. Um, yeah, watching source code compile from Gentoo or LFS puts me to sleep. Hell yeah, yes it will. Reading books puts me to sleep. I like reading books. They won't put me to sleep. Just the only problem is like it's really hard for me to finish a book if it's not in if it doesn't have me hooked within the first 20 to 25 pages. I'm like most likely not going to read it all the way through. Like you have to like hook me. Um, like there's a lot of books that I start reading and I'm like, yeah, no. And the problem is, I know that's bad because there are so many TV shows that I've watched over the course of my life where I'm like, the first season didn't hook me at all, and it wasn't until like the second season or like halfway into the first season where I'm like, oh, this is a fantastic show. And like my problem with books is I can't get that deep into them and continue on if they haven't hooked me yet. But you know, well, wait, Joshua, what's next week? You said, well, that's next week. Or were you saying that in reference to? I'm just on my favorite protest distro, Artix. Uh, I'm not big on protest distros, man. Like, look, if you don't like System D, that's all good. That's all good. But, um, like, you don't really, I don't know, making a whole distribution for it is like weird. But then again, like, I mean, how else are you going to get Arch without System D? You know, simply. But then again, like my thing again is like, I don't know. I don't have any problem with System D. And like, look, I understand you not want, like, I understand someone not wanting to use System D because it's become so prevalent and you want to be using something that's either like, I mean, run it. It's very simple to understand. It's a really nice init system, and it's just that it's just an init system. It's not System D where it is a group of programs. Um, it's not like GNU software, it's not like the GNU core utils. It's not a group of programs. But that being said, System D is not bad. Like, and it's not the whole idea that it's bloated is just, I mean, come on. Like, it's not. It's not. Like, if your definition of bloat is just anything that you don't need on your system, I mean, come on. Like, that's sort of naive. Like, you're gonna, like, if you don't want to compile everything from source, brother, you have shit on your computer that you don't need. Like, if you're running anything other than Gentoo, and hell, even if you're running Gentoo, if you're not paying attention and not cutting out a lot of the use flags, you're building software for support for shit that it doesn't need. Like, it's just it's a byproduct of having support for so much stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. But that being said, I mean, hell, if you like Artix, use Artix. Ooh, an ice cream sandwich. That sounds amazing. Oh, good night, Ben. Hopefully I didn't see that too late. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with chat, but I spent so long talking that it's hard to. Uh, Ubuntu Mono is good. I used to use that for thumbnails, man. Like, Ubuntu just looks great. Ubuntu's font is just real nice. Oh, dude, those little Dylan, I am so jealous. I am so jealous. Dude, those little like local shops where it's just a little family-owned business, man, dude. Like those are the places where you go into and they've got fire, fire food. Hey, let's read the intro, man, intro. I mean, we could do that. Could fire up with a computer and do that. Before we start doing that, while it's booting and everything, let me catch up with chat. Um, People just don't appreciate the functionality of bread enough. It can be anything you want. Oh, that's so true. That's so true. And I mean, like, people hate on bread so much, but like, if we're being honest, like, bread is bread is like the best source of like nutrition. Like, not like not and when I have to say that, I have to specify this. Not the fucking bunny bread that you pick up at the grocery store that's like 99% sugar, okay? It's not that wet, white, like cookie cutter fucking bread shit that you get at the grocery store. Like, that's not nutrition, that's straight sugar. But like, bread itself it's so versatile, so it's very filling. Then again, that's why rice is so good, man. You take a little bit of rice, you eat that shit, it's gonna swell up, you're gonna feel full. um I mean, rice is better than bread, but taste wise, bread's much better. um oh, next week install rail, that's next week. Oh, dude, how about this? How about this? If you're gonna stay at that $50 tier, brother, she we'll do a week in whatever you want. God dang, I gotta stop saying shit like that. Oh, damn it. See, I dig holes for myself when I say shit like that. Oh my god. Now that means every week I'm gonna be distro hopping to some crazy new random distro. That's, man, what I do. Oh, and by the way, I was about to say is what I do for patrons. By the way, I have a video that I recorded from my phone when I was checking out Plan9, and that'll be a Patreon exclusive video I'll put up. There's, for no one get butthurt that it's a Patreon exclusive. Look, if you want it, just ask for the link, and it's okay. I'm not hardcore. I'm not like you have to give me money to be able to see this hyper exclusive video. But that being said, it's also nothing super special. It's just a video of me talking about how Plan9's going, and you can see my earlier experience with talking about how shit's not working. Yeah, Debian is nice that way. Still though, switching init systems is not super easy, and that, like, really, in all honesty, you don't need, I mean, come on, bro, they all work. And like, I love the people who've tried to done time tests between them. They're so fucking close. Like, you're really not going to get a noticeable performance improvement from cutting out system D and replacing it with anything else. Like, it's either on par or just slightly slower from the others. It, like, and we're talking like maybe seconds at the most. Like, it really don't matter. So Dev 1 seems not that appealing anymore. Yeah. Again, like, the protest distros I've never really gotten. Like, I understand you wanting to do your own thing, being separate, which is why Void is so interesting. Like, they are in every way trying to be independent, do their own thing, which is very cool. Very much appreciate it. Like it. Um, I respect doing your own thing and truly doing your own thing, and that's why I think me and Matt pick on Linux Mint so much. It's because, like, Linux Mint is a distro under the guise of doing something new and interesting, and they're really not. Like, I mean, they're really not doing anything that innovative, new, groundbreaking. They're just another run of the mill, we're not Windows, but we look like Windows Linux distros. Which, still, if that's what you need, it's a great distro. I mean, if you want something to put on grandma's computer, Linux Mint is perfect. I've got no problems with Soystem D either. I just choose Artix because I wanted to see how it feel living with protest distro, or living in a protest distro. I mean, like, really, in all honesty, like, how it's gonna feel is just you're using a different init system. Like, that's really it at the end of the day. And also, especially if you're using something like Runit, like, Runit's just great. Like, the only reason I use System D is because it's just compatible with more things. If I had a choice, where like everything was compatible with all init systems, I would be using Runit, only because I just personally like it more. Because it's practically just sim linking. It's like, I mean, if you understand sim linking, you understand Runit. It's very simple, very intuitive to use. So I like it. But then again, I don't have a problem with System D, and it just works, and it's really easy to interact with. So, like, I really ain't got a problem. Plan9 isn't bloated. That's nice. Oh yeah, there is no way. If anyone said Plan9 is bloated, I don't know what type of meth they're smoking, but I never want to touch the shit because it clearly melts brain cells. No, Plan9 is not bloated whatsoever. So let me go ahead and we're gonna do the intro here. So we're gonna do man intro. And let me resize this so I get a bigger readout. Okay. So we're going to read the introduction to Plan9 here. So Plan9 is a distributed, wait, hold on. I still need to catch up through chat, man. I'm so far behind. My only complaint is that Mumble is an LPL for, my only complaint is that Mumble is an EPEL for the rel repos. So I try the Flatpak, which is Bielnik window, probably because I'm missing QT, so I settled on the app image. Yeah, I have no idea what any of that meant, but cool. Yeah, I like app images in general. App images are normally just better. Like, you know, just low-key, my personal opinion. I like Flatpaks. Snaps can go straight right off a ditch. But actually, right straight off a cliff would be better. I hate snaps. Snapd is terrible POS. Snaps themselves are shit. Like, let's just be real. That's why everyone's list is app images or Flatpaks at the top, then app images or Flatpaks a second, and then snaps at the bottom. Like, they're just worse. The good parts are coming. Man dir cp, and you'll get all them. Oh, okay. So there's a whole separate program for command, however you want to say it. It's still program, whatever. So you have to use dir cp for copying folders. That's dumb. Just make cp do it. Come on now. Only reason I don't eat bread is because I'm on a restriction diet. I'm literally eating only meat. Oh, okay. So you're on a paleo diet. Oh, those are good. I did that for a while. It just depends on whether or not it's the best for you. For me, I mean, when it comes to diet, you have to be able to stick with it. And for me, I can't just stick with eating only meat. So a week in Windows 11 if I pay $75. No, no. How about this? We'll make it a competition. Don't make me cancel my other subs just to justify $50 every month. I won't. Other people need support, man. But how about this, Dylan? If you pay me $100, nah, $150. $150, I'll live a week in Windows 11, and I also won't hide, like, at all the parts that I enjoy about it. I will take it from the most positive perspective that one can. Yeah. And then how about this, for $200, I'll force my mom to sit down with me and I'll get her opinion. Like I'll install Windows 11 on her computer and I'll show you guys what she thinks about it. Because I guarantee if I put Windows 11 on her computer, oh dude, that'll be some content right there. See, I mean, it probably won't take minutes for her to be like, this is getting the fuck out of here. Like as soon as Edge wants to start bullying her, or that dude, it's been so long since she's had to go Google, like go on the browser to install something. Like I mean, not too long ago, she wanted to install something, and she just like went into the software center. Like, even though my mom doesn't really know how to use Linux, she still can use Ubuntu. I mean, she knows how to go into the software center, pick out what something she wants. Did you try net/FreeBSD? I tried FreeBSD and it was horrible. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. Like I was expecting FreeBSD to just be way better than OpenBSD, and it was not. I mean, hardware support's better on FreeBSD, but using it wise, installing it wise, it did not like me one bit. It just did not go well. Did you use the web on Plan9? I can't. I don't have a device where the internet will work on it. If I try Plan9 on my desktop, the keyboard doesn't work. On my other laptop, the kernel won't load for Plan9. Again, we're talking 9 Frontier, of course. And on this laptop here, the Wi-Fi card does not work on it. The only way for me to get Ethernet on this laptop is for me to drive out to my grandparents' house and grab my USB-C to Ethernet adapter and plug it up and use Ethernet that way. The problem with doing that, though, is it only has one USB-C port on it, so I can't charge the damn thing while I'm using internet. There you go. So, yeah. I love the Plan9 browser. You'll get a better and less bloated web. I mean, yes, the web browser is good. Mothra is really nice. But still, though, the system itself is not very usable. So for modern stuff, like playing video is pretty much not even an option here. Running is amazing. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I used OpenRC in this artist. Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of OpenRC. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, there's no real benefits over systemd compared to OpenRC. As far as I know, OpenRC is still just as fast as systemd, if not a tiny bit slower. Interesting. You've had a different experience than me. For me, OpenRC boots just as fast, if not tiny bit slower. But as far as I can tell, it's just as fast. Ever tried Plan9 in a VM? Nope. OpenRC, when allowed parallel process initialization, is a little bit faster. Okay. Let me see if I can drop this down. I need to sit down. I've been standing for a while now. I've been standing for like, what? Holy crap, I've been live for almost 2.5 hours. Dang. Time has flown by. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, time flies by when you're having fun talking with friends, okay? So OpenRC, oh wait, no, I just read that. Okay. I can talk in a few for 15 minutes. Okay. Actually, I'm on a carnivore diet. Paleo allows vegetables, starchy ones too. Oh, I did not know that. I thought paleo was just meat. Did not know that. Okay. Sure, 150 it is. I thought Windows 11 was already out. But I won't believe it until I see it. And hopefully I won't see it. Wait, hold on. You get paid on the 7th. Okay, so that's not for a while. Cool. All right, so I'll at least maybe get a few days back in my Linux Wonderland before I have to do that. But God dang it. Oh, okay. All right. Implement it in your workflow. Yeah. Freebie, I mean, I gotta be honest. In my opinion, FreeBSD is the, um, I mean, it's not the better FreeBSD at all. I mean, OpenBSD is so much better, so much better. It just is. Um, I mean, you could do that. You could wipe it and put 9 front on it. You could. Wouldn't be a problem with that. Ethernet probably won't work. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I really don't need it, Ethernet to mess around with it. And also about talking, the only way we'd be able to talk is through the phone, and I don't really know that that's going to pick up well on the stream and everything. But I mean, we can talk about it. Because I mean, but then again, I'm finding out a lot about it. Like already, I mean, it's not like documentation on Plan9 is weak. It's just it's very different. So there is definitely a learning curve. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Yeah, you just go to ninefront.org, go to their releases page, and then you'll see it down there. They give them in torrents and just downloads. I've just sold 2 GPUs as well, so I might be able to afford a whole month in Windows 11. Oh, dude, well, how about this, man? How about this? I'll go ahead and make a discount, a discounted offer, okay? Because again, we all know I'm a cheap ass, and I'm all about that dollar, okay? So, and also like using Windows 11 is not going to be torture. Like I'll still be able to do stuff. It won't be torture. It's fine. I'll definitely have some good. There will definitely be some good rants that come out of it. But for $300, for 300, just double your money. Essentially 2 weeks, man. Again, budget here. We're talking budget. For $300, I will do a month in Windows 11 right after this week ends. But for me to do that, you have to make the payment before the end of the week. Okay, that's my stipulation, and I'm really hoping that you don't get paid before then, and so that you can make it. But I'll go ahead and make that offer now. $300. I do a month in Windows 11, and I'll do some nice VR content from the Quest 2 as well. There you go. There's my offer. Let's see. Lord, I'm way behind. On the 9 front website under releases, yeah. Download the second. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do have it for the Pi. For the cool things we need the web. Inferno for the win, not Windows 11. I saw Inferno, which is like it's like a follow-up to Plan9. Might give that a check. Because as far as I know, Inferno is just Plan9, but like it's the next operating system that Bell Labs worked on after Plan9. 300 by Friday. I'll see what I can do. All right. Well, it's actually Saturday. Saturday would be your last day. Saturday is my last day in Plan9. So yeah, you got Saturday. You do have Saturday. I mean, like if you get your paycheck on Friday, don't hit till Saturday morning, some shit like that. There you go. But it has to be by then. I don't care if the $300 hits on Sunday at 12:01 in the morning. That will be good enough for me to be like, nope, sorry, man, can't do it. Like, but other than that, yeah. Nah, I mean, it's not like really forcing me to use Windows 11 because like Windows 11, like, I don't know. Like, again, I might use Linux and everything, but I don't like Microsoft as a company, but it wouldn't be torture for me to use Windows 11. It would be torture for me to use, like, I think it's called like Anarchy Linux or something like that. No, or no, it's Suicide Linux. Like Suicide Linux, where like if you type a command wrong, like it RMRFs the entire drive. Like that would be torture for me because I would be so anxiety ridden the entire time using it. Like, because as far as I know, like Suicide Linux is just like Debian, but just built so if you mess up anything, RMRFs the entire drive. This guy's haggling skill is top notch. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Crux for the win. I'm not big on. I don't know if I could do Crux. Don't use Inferno. 9 front is better. Okay. Well, in that case, that's what we're using. We're using the best. Okay, using the best. But all right, so let's read off this intro here. The intro to Plan9. Oh shit. Let's like not start moving stuff with my mouse. Plan9 is a distributed computing environment assembled from the separate machines acting as terminals, CPU servers, and file servers. A user works at a terminal running a Windows system on a raster display. Some windows are connected to CPU servers. The intent is that heavy computing should be done in those windows, but it is also possible to compute on the terminal. A separate file server provides file storage for terminals and CPU servers alike. I've also heard that you should have a authentication server as well. Namespaces. In Plan9, almost all objects look like files. The object retrieved by a given name is determined by a mapping called the namespace. A quick tour of the standard namespace in namespace, the actual like man page. Every program running in Plan9 belongs to a process group. See rfork in fork. The namespace for each process group can be independently customized. A namespace is hierarchically structured. A full file name, also called a full path name, has the form /e1/e2/./en. This represents an object in a tree of files. The tree has a root represented by the first slash. The root has a child file name called E1, which in turn has a child E2, and so on. The descent En is the object represented by the path name. There are a number of Plan9 services available, each of which provides a tree of files, a name, good lord, There are a number of Plan9 services available, each of which provides a tree of files. A namespace is built by binding services or subtrees of services to names in the namespace so far. Typically, a user's home file server is bound to the root of the namespace, and other services are bound to conventionally named subdirectories. For example, there's a service resident in the operating system for accessing hardware devices, and that is bound to /dev by convention. Kernel services have names outside the namespace that are a hashtag sign followed by a single letter. For example, hashtag C is conventionally bound to /dev. Man intro trough pipe page. Highly recommend to read the 9 front intro. Nice documentation, which has good memes included. Wait, okay. Highly recommend to read the 9 front intro. Nice documentation with much more good memes included. Wait, hold on. Okay. Okay. Dude, so hold on. Here's the real question. So, let's see. You said, man, not now, later, to stream. Oh, okay. Okay. Don't want me to read it now. Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know if that was just a way of reading something, reading this better. Oh my god. Wait, how many times did I print this out? This is long as hell. Plan9 has union directories made of several directories all bound to the same name. The directories making up a union directory are ordered in a list. When the bindings are made, see bind flag specify whether a newly bound member goes at the head or the tail of the list, or completely replaces the list. To look up a name in order. Wait, to look up a name in a union directory, each member directory is searched in list order until the name is found. A bind flag specifies whether file creation is allowed in a member directory. A file created in the union directory. Okay, I'm sorry. I am just not interested right now. Yeah, so we've got an intro into library. Devices, introduction to the Plan9 devices, introduction to the Plan9 file protocol. This is a very detailed introduction to system administration, file formats, databases, and kernel functions. I mean, damn, dude. It's pretty complete. This is a lot of info. Like, if you want to know anything about Plan9, bruh, here we go. I'm heading to bed. Night, guys. Well, Joshua, have a good time, and thank you for donating so I can have this experience of living in Plan9. You know, just rounding out my abilities. Now, for some reason, if someone ever asks, hey man, you know anything about Plan9? You'd be like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, Smoig, have a good one. I was going to sleep. Man, it's almost 6 a.m., so no point. Good Lord. See, Dylan, that's the thing. You always have a valid reason. Or, I mean, I don't know, some people that might not be valid, but you always have a good reason for not getting sleep. And I respect that. Speaking of having a valid reason to not get sleep, I have not walked Buddy in a few hours. And my poor dude needs to be walked. He also needs some food, and it's almost 11:45 here. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, and I have work at 9 o'clock in the morning and need to get sleep, take care of Buddy, and get ready for work in the morning. So I need to go. I just thought about that because Buddy is probably really wanting to go outside. So we're gonna have to call it a day here on the stream on talking about Plan 9, talking about all that good stuff. But yeah, all you people in sleep, I know it's almost like we need it. All right, well, I'm glad that we've been able to talk. It's been good talking with you guys. It's been good messing around, educating others on Plan 9 and what's going on. And hope all you guys have a good one. Take care. Mitchell, have a great one. Dylan, I mean, if you don't get sleep, you don't get sleep, but I hope you get some good sleep eventually. If you don't get sleep for the rest of the day, hope you have a good one, man. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys later on Discord when I get back from work. I will most likely just come home from work, pop in on a Discord call, and BS around while I'm messing around on the laptop with Plan 9. And hopefully, Lewis, I can call you then and we can talk. I know our schedules are completely different, and it's really hard for us to get in contact with each other and talk for a while. But yeah, have a good one. And maybe I will just fall in love with Plan 9. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. See you, man.